So you have one side here. That's given. We're not going to write down the things that are given yet, not till we make proofs. What else do you see given to you? Another side, right? Okay, all of those are given. But we can't use SSS yet because there's a third side that's missing. What do you notice? The middle one. And it's called reflexive because side AC is on the right triangle and side AC is also on the left triangle. It's used in both of them. So that's a side for this triangle. And it's also a side for this triangle. It counts in both. Now here's the thing. When they say explain, on your homework and on any other tests or quizzes, when they say explain, they mean write what you need. And that reflexive piece wasn't given, so watch this. We say AC is congruent to itself. AC is congruent to AC. Anybody remember the word for that from last year? When something looks into the mirror and sees itself right there? Reflexive, good. So you can either use the word by reflexive property, or you could just write reflexive in parentheses. You'll see me doing it all different ways. By the reflexive property. Okay, so what you already did, you just have to write a short sentence to explain it. What you already knew how to do. All right, that makes us ready, right? So look at this. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA by what reason now? Our 4 reasons that we practiced yesterday. You can say SSS, SAS, just put it on my seating chart. Let's see. SAS, ASA, AAS, which one is it? SSS, good. That's how you do it. Now, one thing I want you to be very mindful of here is the order of these letters. And in these problems, they're going to give them to you, but eventually you're going to have to do it yourself. Notice that AB goes with CD. And AB has the 1 mark, and it goes with CD that has the 1 mark. We have to line them up as matching parts. BC would go with DA. BC has 2 marks, and DA has 2 marks, so they line that up together. So be aware of that as we're getting ready to go into proofs. The next one. All right, let's start with what we're given. What are we given? Sides. Yep, those 2. And when you do a proof, you'll have to write them down, but we're not doing that quite yet. What else do you notice that's given to you? An angle right here. This angle is equal to this angle. So we're not done yet. We need something. What do we need? The reflexive. That's right. How would you write that? Tell me what letters to use. Yep, side BC equals what? Itself. That's right. BC is congruent to BC, and that's a side on the top triangle, and it's a side on the bottom triangle. It's a side that's included in both. And so the reason, this time I'm just going to put it in parentheses because you can write it all different ways. I'm going to just say reflexive property. Reflexive property. All right, do you need anything more? No, we've got it, don't we? We have SAS and SAS. So now we just go right back to this. Triangle ABC is congruent to, notice that the letters line up as well. A here lines up with D. B lines up with B, and C lines up with C. So it's triangle DBC. And what would I put in parentheses for that reason? That's what you're going to have to do on tonight's homework, is put the explanations in too, not just the 3 letters. All right, but the next one down just takes 1 extra step. Because they didn't give us all the sides that are congruent to each other. What did they give us up here? Show that the triangles are congruent given the value of the variables. Show that triangle UVW is congruent to YXW based on what? What did they give us? X equals 3. That's our fact. So these are already numbered, but this one right here, XZ would be what? 3, which makes that one equal to that one. So I'm going to say by substitution, this time it's not given to me, so this time I have to do it. I substituted, I plugged in x equals 3. By substitution, I can say that VW is congruent to which one? XZ, that's right. That's all just by substitution. We made it so that 3 would equal 3. That represents a side. What would this side equal? That's right. That's what it would be congruent to. Oops, sorry. It's 1. 3 minus 1, so it does equal 2. And that would make this side equal to UW. That's right. So UW, this triangle side, would equal ZY. Or be congruent to. That represents another side right there and right there. So all we have a little more. This one's 3 times 3. And then minus 5, so we get 9 minus 5 is 4. So XY is equal to what? The XY is equal to what one then? UV, yep, because they both came equal to 4. So UV is congruent to XY. And now we have everything we need. We have 3 pairs of sides that are congruent just by substituting it in. And then you'll say triangle UVW is congruent to triangle YXW, for now they gave you the order of the letters. By what reason? Side, side, side. And for the last one, I'm going to write down what you tell me to write. I want you to look at it and think about it. How can we prove that these 2 triangles are congruent? Is anyone still writing? Okay. So everyone who's done, look at the next one. Look at what variable they gave you. Look at what you could do with that. How could you prove that those 2 triangles are congruent? Anybody still writing now? Okay. All right, so for the next one, what do you have? T equals 4. So go ahead on your own right now. Start plugging it into all those places and see what we get. I have a typo. And all the other ones are the same. Like it's a T. I know. Put up on mine. So that should say Y and Z. It looks like there's a typo here. This should say the V here would go with which letter over here? It should go with the Z. So change that W to Z. Right? There's a typo. Try to fix that for the next note. There's no the W is in this triangle, not in this triangle. In this triangle, it should be YXZ, not YXW. All right, so plugging in for the next one. Plug in all these values. T equals 4. You do that. You plug it in. 3 times 4 plus 1. Get a value for those 3 things before we move on. Use your PEMDAS. Adrian, you asked not PEMDAS, so we're just using that. So do the x ones first, then multiply. Okay? As soon as you get those plugged in, let me know so I can show you the rest of it and you can do faster. Alright, so what did you get for AG when you plugged it in? 3 times 4 plus 1 is 13. What did you get for this angle right here? When you plugged in 2 times 4 squared, what did you get? 32. 32. Did you get 32? And then for DC? 13. Good. Okay, so now we can use that information and we can just have our own way here of showing that these triangles are congruent. 4 times 4 is 16. Minus 3, we get 13. So by substitution, tell me some things that are equal. DA. Good. DA is congruent to DC. By plugging it in, we got 13 and 13. I'm going to throw that in red here, that this represents a side, and this represents a side. We've got S's there. What else do you have that's congruent? The 32 and the 32, right? So label this angle. How do you label it? A what? ADB. Good. Angle ADB is congruent to, help me out with the other angle that's 32. How would you label that one? D, BC, or CBD, or CDB. For angles, it doesn't matter about the two outer letters, just the vertex. For triangles, the order will matter. So I'll go with the first one I heard, BDC. So those all things are congruent by substitution. That represents an angle, and that's not enough. We have one pair of sides and one pair of angles. We have A and A. What else do we need? Or what else do you see? Reflexive, yep. The side in the middle is reflexive. This piece right here is the same the top as it is on the bottom. And so I'm going to mark that with an S for sides. All right, so this side is reflexive right there. So we have to write that. If we use it, we have to write it. So we will say what equals what? Mm-hmm. Good. And for that one, we still have to give a reason. It's not the substitution reason. So we have to call that one reflexive. Now we have everything we need. Triangle ADB is congruent to triangle CDB by the reason of what? SAS. All right, so turn the page and do practice 3-2 for about 10 minutes while I stamp your homework, and then I'll get that back to you. But I want you to try this on your own. I want you to skip the bottom and just cross it off. I want you to only do 1 through, I think it's 7. 1 through 7. Okay, cross off number 8. So find the parts that go together. For numbers, these ones right here, make sure that you explain, okay? And I'll go over that with you, but make sure you explain that. You don't have to explain the gibbons. Which part here would you have to add on and explain right here? The reflexive part, that's right, okay? So make sure you do that. Do number 1 through 7, explain where it says explain.